Ethan Miller's life had always been quiet. Too quiet, some would say. At 29, he lived alone in a small apartment in a peaceful suburb outside Portland, Oregon. His days were predictable: coding at a software firm, late dinners from takeout apps, and long nights watching old crime documentaries. He didn't have many friends, but he told himself he preferred it that way. Silence felt safe. That belief shattered at exactly 2:17 a.m. His phone vibrated softly on the nightstand beside his bed. Half asleep, Ethan reached for it, expecting maybe a work alert or a spam message. But as soon as the screen lit up, his entire body froze. It was a photo. A dark bedroom, lit only by pale moonlight from the window. A man lay asleep on the bed, turned slightly toward the camera. It was his bed, his room, and the man sleeping in the picture was him. Ethan shot upright, gasping. His heart slammed violently against his ribs as his eyes raced around the room. The door was locked. The windows were shut. The closet was closed. Everything looked exactly as it had before he'd fallen asleep. Yet the photo existed. No number was attached. No message. Just the image. He didn't sleep again that night. At work the next day, Ethan was pale, jumpy, and exhausted. His coworker Marcus noticed immediately. "You look like you got dragged through a nightmare," Marcus said. "What happened?" Ethan hesitated, then pulled out his phone and showed him the photo. Marcus's face changed instantly. "That's not funny, man. Who took that?" "That's the problem," Ethan said quietly. "I have no idea." Marcus urged him to contact the police, but Ethan brushed it off. "They'll think I staged it. Or that I'm paranoid." But that night, fear won. Ethan locked every door and window. He placed a chair against the bedroom door and activated the camera on his laptop, pointing it directly at the entrance. Only after triple-checking everything did he crawl into bed. At 3:11 a.m., the phone buzzed again. Another photo. This one was closer, his face clearly visible, mouth slightly open in sleep. The angle proved that whoever took it had been standing just a few feet from him. His hands shook as he opened the laptop recording. Nothing. No movement. No door opening. No shadow crossing the floor. Yet the photo had been taken. By the third night, Ethan was unraveling. He barely ate. His nerves felt like exposed wires. He taped paper over his windows and set up makeshift barricades in the hallway. When the phone buzzed at 2:59 a.m., he already knew what it would be. The third photo was different. It showed his face inches from the camera. And this time, his eyes were wide open, staring directly into the lens. Ethan screamed and threw the phone across the room. His legs buckled beneath him as panic surged through his body. He remembered going to bed. He remembered falling asleep. He did not remember opening his eyes. At sunrise, shaking and desperate, he drove straight to the police station. Detective Laura Simmons listened closely as Ethan explained everything. She studied the photos, examined the metadata, and ordered a technician to run a full analysis. "These photos are real," she finally said. "They were taken at the exact moments you received them. No edits. No filters." "Then someone is breaking into my apartment," Ethan whispered. "There's no sign of forced entry," she said carefully. "But we'll take precautions." That very night, officers patrolled his block. Motion cameras were installed inside his apartment. For the first time in days, Ethan felt slightly safer. Sleep came quickly. At 3:07 a.m., his phone vibrated. Another photo arrived. This one showed him standing beside his own bed, staring down at his sleeping body. The police cameras showed nothing. No hallway movement. No door opening. No intruder. Detective Simmons marked the case under unexplained surveillance. The photos continued for days. Each one more disturbing than the last. Some angles came from the ceiling. Others from the mirror inside his room. Once, the photo showed him sitting at the edge of his bed, head tilted unnaturally. Ethan stopped sleeping entirely. He lived on coffee and fear. Marcus begged him to crash at his place. "Whatever this is, it's dangerous." Ethan refused. "If it follows me, I won't put you at risk." Eventually, the police referred him to a sleep specialist for evaluation. Dr. Helen Rowe listened quietly as Ethan described the case. She asked careful questions about his childhood, his isolation, his work stress, and his emotional health. "Have you ever sleepwalked?" she asked gently. "No," Ethan said. "Never." She studied him. "Are you certain?" "Yes." She hesitated. Not everyone remembers. That night, driven by desperation, Ethan decided to uncover the truth himself. He installed 4 cameras, one facing the bed, one facing the door, one facing the closet, and one hidden above the wardrobe. All recordings were set to upload directly to cloud storage. He forced himself to stay awake. Minutes dragged into hours. At 4:02 a.m., exhaustion finally pulled him under. At 4:17 a.m., the cameras detected movement. Ethan sat up. His eyes were open, but they were empty. His movements were slow, precise, unnatural. He stood, walked to the desk, picked up his phone, and lifted it toward the dark TV screen. In the reflection, his sleeping body was clearly visible. He took the photo, placed the phone back down, returned to bed. At 4:18 a.m., the image was delivered to his own phone. Ethan woke with a scream at sunrise. With trembling hands, he reviewed the footage again and again. His reality collapsed as the truth became undeniable. He had been the one taking the photos. Dr. Rowe diagnosed him with a severe dissociative parasomnia, a rare condition where the brain creates a second active consciousness during sleep. It had been triggered by years of isolation, anxiety, and deeply buried childhood trauma Ethan had avoided confronting. But why scare me? Ethan asked in disbelief. Why terrorize myself like that? Because fear was the only way your mind knew how to wake you up, she explained softly. With months of therapy, medication, and monitored sleep sessions, the episodes slowly faded. The photos stopped. 1 year later, Ethan moved to Seattle. He lived in a bright apartment surrounded by neighbors and daily noise. He had friends now, a routine, support, peaceful sleep. One evening, while cleaning his cloud storage, he came across the folder of remaining photos. Dozens of images of a man haunted by himself. He deleted every single one. Except the last, the one where he stood beside his own sleeping body. Because now, he understood. It had never been a ghost. Never an intruder. Never a stalker. It was the mind's final cry for help.